Lib needs to grow up with other people, but she's not. She's saying she's not going to focus in just on Mitch, but she is. They need to bring Lib. Next guy that Josh is coming in. Hello guys, so we are back with another episode of Love Island Games. As always, I'm not going to waste any time. Let's get straight into it. And as always, I will be looking at my phone for notes. So at the start of this episode, Chris goes up to Molly to ask her to go up to the terrace for a chat. In front of Callum, he asks her. And I'm like, big balls, I like it. And so he takes her up there. He has her laughing a lot. And that takes me back to that whole saying of, men can really laugh you into bed. He's got a swag about him. I do get what people are seeing in him. Is he for me? Not necessarily, but I get it. And then we also see Lib confiding in Kaz about her feelings for Mitch and like how she's like in her head and she's worried. And that's because I think she can obviously see Mitch's eyes are going elsewhere. Whereas Kaz's take is it's a good thing because it means she cares, which, okay, yeah, it does, but I don't think this is good. I always say, if a man is making you feel worried, there is a reason for that. Listen to your intuition. And we see later, obviously, should have listened. So it gets to bedtime. Only notable thing I'm going to talk about, Molly and Callum cuddling. Very comfortable. They fell into that. They haven't even had a conversation. Are we going to try and make it work? None of that. But they're cuddling in bed. Guys, I'm going to stay with this conspiracy. I swear. I feel like, anyway. So the morning after, they're having the morning after chats and everything. And what I do like is that they kept it like mixed groups, which I really enjoy because normally it's like, it feels forced when it's like, these girls, you have to, obviously producers tell people who it is they have to talk to. So I do like that it was mixed and it felt more organic. And the conversations that came out of it were more organic. One of them being obviously Chris saying he was talking to like Lewis, Hannah, and Anton, saying that the two girls he likes currently are Demi and Molly. This is really interesting, the way it's all intertwining, because a few people like multiple people and they're caught up in these different... It's going to get interesting. I told you guys, it's going to be a good season. But throughout this episode, my thought is no. Like Liv, it's the same storyline again. She likes a guy and he likes someone else more. It was like that on her season. Well, Jake was just insane. It was like that on Love Island Games. And we're seeing it here with Mitch. And so Mitch and Demi are off. They're going off for a chat and they're flirting. But I have one request, okay, Islanders? This whole talking about your eyes as a way to flirt, I feel like it's very played out. I feel like we can do something else. Every day is, oh my God, your eyes, just as a chance to stare into the eyes. Then we have Mitch saying to Demi, yeah, give me your best, like, F me eyes. And I don't know, guys, comment below and let me know. Am I a prude or was that a bit much? Because I'm like, I'm just getting to know you. This is how I think. Just getting to know you. If the conversation goes, if it goes there so quickly, I'm a bit turned off by that. Now, not to say I never want to speak about it, but one of our initial conversations, that's what you're saying? I don't know. But hey, who am I? Demi seems to be enjoying it. So who am I to speak? Then right after that, well, what we see after that, Mitch goes to pull Lib for a chat. And I will say this, somewhat smooth you could say, because while he's pulling Lib for a chat and she's laid right next to Demi, he still gives her a little bit of attention and like chucks a little pillow at her. Nothing crazy. I'm not going to be like, wow, swoon, and like fall into my knees or whatever. But it was as if to say, I still know about you, don't worry. But then takes Liv to speak with her. And he seems to have, as the kids say, riz, like he's, you know, good with his words and talking. But I feel like it may just look that way because all the other guys are making zero to no effort outside of, obviously, Chris as well. Like, he's complimenting these girls that he's with and some of his lines that he's throwing at them, but he's still, as they say, grafting. Then we have Toby speaking with Georgia about why him and Chloe broke up, which again was interesting to see. And this is why I like the concept of All-Stars, because we know these people, we may have questions, and these questions are getting answered during the show. Like he alluded to, there was loss of trust. He didn't fully say why, but we got something. So I like that element to this show. I'm liking All-Stars. So then we have Chris giving Molly a massage. Now, I know I've been saying I feel like this breakup is not real, right? But if it is real between Callum and Molly, her getting a massage and he is literally stones throw it away so can see it is crazy. It's crazy. Part of me did enjoy that scene a bit. Like, I don't know, are they... Again, we had a little conversation in my last video, but I want to hear if there's any new viewers. What do you think? Is this real? Is it a sham? Were they actually broken up? Let me know. Also, side note, I'm just noticing, like, especially Molly, but just everyone in general, you see a lot more designer now that it's All Stars because, you know, they got a bit of cash dollar. And I remember before, actually, with brands, they'd cover it with, like, a black tape or anything. But no, brands are on show. They don't care. So Chris and Lewis are having a conversation about Callum. Yeah, and they're saying that... Chris is saying that he feels like because Callum is not making much of an effort with Molly, he feels like they're done. And I feel like, again, my conspiracy, I feel like because he knows they're going to end up back together, he's not sweating the fact that all these guys are trying to talk to her because he knows eventually they're going to find their way back to each other. And if it is a real breakup, sometimes girls are drawn to the nonchalant lesson. They're like more intrigued, like, why are you not fighting for me? And it might draw you back in, but I don't think it's real anyways. Okay, so then we have Mitch sat talking to, I think it was Chris potentially, I can't remember. No, I don't know. We have Mitch sat talking with someone and he's saying he feels like he's 50-50 between Demi and Lib. But in my head, I'm like, you're saying that, but everything he's saying around it, it feels like he is feeling Lib more. And he then goes on to confirm it and says he feels bad. So I'm just like, oh no, Liv, not this storyline again. So then everyone's getting ready for the nighttime. Lewis is saying how he's feeling Demi, feeling like all in on her. They ask him about Kaz and he's not trying to hear it, basically. I'm like... I'm just going to summarize this really quickly. Jake gathers everybody around, lets them know that he's leaving. People are in shock, but like, you know, you're doing the right thing for yourself. Lib cries. They go off for a chat. It's all very amicable. And you know what I will say? I'm glad at least they get to close things on a good note because as much as he did her very dirty in their season, you don't want to carry around that resentment for someone in your heart. You just want to move on, be free. So great. They even did a sit-down interview. He has a sit-down interview with Maya Jama. We didn't get much from it, I'll be honest. I was like, maybe they didn't have enough footage for tonight's episode because it actually finished pretty on time. Or early, even earlier than usual. So then we see Lewis and Demi. They're on like one of the day beds or something. And he's like, you know what? I wonder how Kaz feels. I'm like, Lewis, Kaz has told you exactly how she feels. Comment below anyways, guys. What do you think of Lewis? Do you think he's feeling Kaz? So then we have this moment with Molly and Callum. They're like, well, Molly sat, Callum stood by her. And he's basically like, do you still fancy me? And her reaction is just to laugh at him, which is very awkward. If I ever asked someone that, which I would not, and that was their reaction, I'd be like, oh my days. I'd want the ground swallow me up. And then she's like, well, I dated you for 3 years, so obviously. I don't know if the two correlate as well, but I'll take it. And then they go on to have this awkward couples therapy with Georgia and Toby in the middle of things, trying to mediate, which... I don't know if they're the best of mediators, but the situation was awkward anyway because they kept laughing but saying serious things. This is why I'm not buying it, especially at the end when she's like, the reason they broke up is because he said he wanted to focus on his career. And he's like, did I say that? I didn't say that. And it feels like, to me, the improv is going on for too long. You can only improv for so long before someone else is not feeling it. And he's like, I guess if this is fake... in his mind, I don't want to be painted out like that much of a villain type thing. You're taking this too far. Because you could see it in his face, like, I don't remember saying that. You think I said that? And she was like, yeah, why? What do you think you said? Like, it was, we've gone off script and we don't know where to go from here. That's what it was giving me. And then Chris, while all of this is going on, is looking for Molly because he wants to pull her for a chat. He enters where they stood, reads the room, and decides, yeah, Molly, can I go? Molly, can we go for a chat? So they go up to the terrace again, and he says, let's do this whole, like, let's stare into each other's eyes. That I don't mind, to be fair, because I've seen videos on it. Maybe you might fall in love or whatever. So they do that for 2 minutes. And then he's like, nah, I'm getting bored. Let's just kiss. And he pulls her and she's like, what? And I genuinely thought she was going to decline the kiss. But they actually do kiss. And I'm like, so now I don't know if this is a scam. If it is, Molly is going off script. Or maybe they agreed to this. Because she was even like, I want to see what he's like when other girls come in. And if he's really about what it is that he's saying. So, 3 things, right? First, they genuinely broke up 6 months ago, didn't know each other were going to be in the villa, and they were done. I don't believe that, though. Option 2, it's all a sham. They said, let's say we broke up for the show, so we can both go on, build our profile, come back out, kill it. That's where I was leaning in the beginning. Now I'm in between these 2 options. So that one, or they did break up, were on the cusp of rekindling, Love Island reaches out, and they both say, okay, do you know what, let's just do it, and maybe we can work on things there, but maybe we shouldn't say because we don't want it to look like it was fake. So there's a lot of unresolved issues. Because some of the arguments that they were having during that couple's therapy, before she said that last thing of you said you wanted to focus on your career, did feel a bit real. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to be going back and forth every review on whether or not it's real. Because this was a confusing one. Yes, and whilst all this is going on, sorry, I completely forgot. Kaz and Lewis were on the daybeds as well, having a chat. And they were looking at tattoos, and she was like, flirting around. Like, maybe you'll get my name tattooed on you or whatever. Like, it was fun, but I don't know. I'm not buying it from Lewis. Even his body language, his arms were folded like this while they're talking. I mean, there was one point where his arms were out open, but no contact to her. I feel like it's more coming from her side. Kaz. And I said in the last video, bring someone in for her. And someone said, who would they bring? And I don't even know. I don't know. But what I do know is, guys, I'm still loving this season of Love Island All-Stars. Hopefully you guys are starting to enjoy it now. I feel like it's going to get interesting because there's intertwining interest, if that makes sense. Because you have Demi, who likes Lewis, Chris, and Mitch. There's something going on there, right? And then Mitch likes Demi and Lib likes Mitch. Lib needs to grow up with other people, but she's not. She's saying she's not going to focus in just on Mitch, but she is. They need to bring Lib. Next guy that Josh is coming in. Yeah, hopefully she does start to look elsewhere though. But yeah, so she likes him. Kaz likes Lewis. Obviously, Lewis likes Demi and Molly. And does he like Kaz? Let's just say he does, but yeah. And then obviously with Molly, she's getting to know Chris, but then what's his face? Callum is still there. I feel like there was someone else interested in Molly. Lewis said he's interested. So has he started to speak to her yet? No. So that could all still come into play. It's going to be interesting, and I'm here for it. I'm very much so here for it. So as always, guys, comment below. Let's keep this conversation going. And if you did enjoy this video, feel free to like, comment, subscribe. All that good stuff I'm meant to ask you to do, please do. And I'm just rambling now, and I don't really know how to end this. So I'm just gonna go.